can click on that and it will indeed show you that you're now like a blue selected segment. Okay, so let's create a chest segment. Okay, so we type chest and then we click create. Okay, so I'm constantly rotating and zooming in or out in 3D, dragging, because I want to make sure that I'm picking the right dots. Okay, so we have left front of the shoulder dot, right front of the shoulder dot, right back of the shoulder dot, left back of the shoulder dot. We have, and you can see this, we have, this is going to be the chest dot, this is going to be the C7, or the, like the neck dot. I'm going to pick the sternum dot and the T10, or the center of the back dot. And you'll see that there are 8 dots defining this chest segment. So I'm going to click on create, and you'll see over here that now we do have a pelvis and a chest segment. Okay, so let's create our head segment now. Head. Okay, so we type head, then we click create, and from here we kind of look around. We can zoom in or out if we need to, but I think we're all comfortable to know that this is left front of the head, right front of the head, left back of the head, and right back of the head. So those 4 dots are going to define our head segment. We're going to then click on create, and you'll see that we now have 3 segments. And if you kind of look here, what you're going to see is you're going to see these orienter things where they're defining the X, Y, and Z planes. This is going to be important later. Just notice them for right now. Okay, so now let's define, I like to start with left side first and then go to right side. Now again, if you're uncomfortable left and right, you could label it from the behind too. So where now this is the right side of the person as well as my right side, and this is the left side of the person as well as my left side. I personally like to look straight on at the person because that's how I record the data, and that's typically when you work in 3D how you're going to work with things. Again, that's a matter of preference, although there does seem to be accepted standards. Okay, let's go ahead and create our left upper arm. So I'm just going to call this left arm. Okay, so I type left arm, I click create, and I'm going to pick as my first dot for the left upper arm, the left back of the shoulder. I'm going to go down here to the left elbow dot, and then I'm going to pick the left upper arm dot. I'm just going to use those 3. I'm going to click create. And one of the things that Vicon does is it will automatically label things that you type with a capital L-E-F-T as red. That you'll notice the same if you type capital R-I-G-H-T, it'll automatically label them green. You can use this if you want. You can override it later if you want. Matter of preference again. Okay, so let's call this. Let's call this left forearm. Okay, so we're going to create the left forearm segment. We're going to start with this dot. We're then going to go to the lateral wrist dot. We're going to go to the medial wrist dot, and then we're going to go to the forearm dot, picking these 4 dots to define that segment. We're going to click create. Now you'll notice, again, because I used capital L-E-F-T, it became red. Okay, let's do the left hand. Left hand, right? We type left hand, we then click create, and for our hand segment, we're just going to use this dot, and then we're going to do that. And we're going to click create, and that's going to define our hand, okay? So now we're going to do the same thing, but on the right side. So we're going to do right arm. Okay, so same way, right back of the shoulder, right elbow, and then right arm dot. And we click create, and you'll see it's green now because I typed capital R-I-G-H-T. Okay, so now we're going to have right forearm. Okay, then we're going to click create. We're going to pick this dot. We're going to zoom around and make sure that we're picking the right dots. And lateral wrist, medial wrist, and then forearm dot. Click create. Okay, so then we're going to have our right hand dot. Type that, click create, and we're going to do the same thing, lateral, and then finger, and then the medial, and we click create. And we'll notice that our orientation on this side, the reds are now opposite of this side, and that's fine because we're on the opposite side of the body and things are going to move opposite from each other. Now, let's go down and start on the legs. So let's do left up leg. That's just going to be our left femur section. So we type that, we click create. We're going to pick the left front of the pelvis. We're going to click the left knee and then the left femur dot. We're going to say create. You'll notice it's red again for the same reason. Okay, I'm going to turn off the force plates right now, and I go to the options and we uncheck force plates and say close, and now our force plates are now turned off and they're a little out of our way. Okay, so let's create the left tibia section, which is the lower part of the leg. Okay, so we type that, we click create. We will pick the knee dot, we'll pick the ankle dot, and then the tibia dot, and we click create. Okay, so now we see again having a red leg. Okay, so now we're going to do left foot. Okay, so the foot we're going to have a few more dots, but not all that many more. Okay, so we're going to left foot, click create. We're going to start with the same dot. We're going to go forward to the toe, and then we're going to go MT5, MT1, and then heel. We're not going to use the middle ankle dot. We may later, but not for this. Okay, so now we have the 3 segments of the leg. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Up leg. Okay, so we type right up leg, we click create, pick the right front of the pelvis, the knee, and then the femur. Okay, we click create. So let's do, I forget what I named it, so you can always look over here what you named your things, and I called that left tibia, so let's call it right tibia. So we click create, we pick this dot, and this dot. Okay, so we click create, and okay, so now for fun, let's say that I made a mistake on that and we need to get rid of it. Let's click on right tibia, and you'll notice it becomes blue because it's selected. Let's delete that segment. Right click on it and then click delete, and you'll notice that it goes away. Now, if you want to type it again, you have to click backspace, wait a second until it refreshes, and then type your A again. Click create, and then since I did it right, I'll just do it the same way again, picking the same 3 dots, and click create. Okay, so that's done. Now, you'll notice that what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to roll the wheel up, which is it's going to frame advance, and that takes away my boxes. You want to be careful not to do this. If you come back to the frame 1, where you should be starting on frame 1, you'll notice that it comes back. Try to label everything on the same frame. Okay, let's finish up and do our right foot. Okay, so we type right foot, we click create, we pick the ankle, then the toe, and then we'll start with lateral, medial, and then we'll go to heel. And then we click create, and we'll see that again we have green on this side, red on this side, anything center is now orange. Okay, so we're done with that. Now what we need to do is we